We've done a whole lot of sewing in the previous tutorials, so I'm glad that's out of the way. Now we can get back to crocheting. In today's tutorial, we'll be crocheting the arms for your puppy dog. You can find the tools and materials for this tutorial in the description, and here are all the stitches and techniques that we'll be using. So now that that's out of the way, let's get crocheting.
You'll need to have 2 yarn colors handy, one for the paw and one for the arm. Let's start with the color for the paw, and we're going to put 6 single crochets into a magic ring. And round 1 is done. Round 2 has a short repeat of an increase into the first stitch and then a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. This will get repeated once more, and that should bring you to the end of the round. I'm not going to crochet around the tail for that magic ring this time. It might not make a big difference, but I want that tail to take up some space on the inside of this paw. You should have 8 stitches when you're done with round 2. At this point, I need to use a stitch marker. I like to mark the last stitch in the round. To start round 3, we are going to increase into the first stitch and then put a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. You'll repeat everything once more. I think I crochet a little bit too tight, so it can be a struggle for me to get into some of these stitches when I'm working with such a small piece. This sometimes means my hook snags the yarn in my stitches, and I gotta be really careful, but I might be stuck in my ways to change the way I crochet at this point. You should end the round with 10 stitches. Round 4 also starts with an increase in the first stitch. Then you'll make a single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Repeat everything starting with the increase, and you should have a total of 12 stitches when you're done. I think I pulled the tail from the magic ring too tight because the paw was looking a bit pointed. So I thought I might be able to reshape it with my fingers before starting this next round. For round 5, all we need is a single crochet in every stitch. After finishing round 5, I thought I would count my stitches and just make sure that I have 12. Okay. Now for round 6. We're going to single crochet into the first stitch and then make a decrease. I'm using the invisible decrease, and if you aren't using this technique, you gotta try it out. You'll repeat the single crochet and the decrease until you reach the end of this round. But before you finish off that last decrease, make sure you switch to the arm color yarn. You can cut the paw color yarn because we're done with it. You should have 8 stitches when you're done. As you start round 7, make sure those tails are pulled tight. You need to single crochet into all 8 stitches for this round. When you're done, get those yarn scraps I told you to save and stuff them into the paw. I think yarn scraps give a much more firm finish than the fiber fill, and that's what I'm going for. Okay, back to crocheting the arm. Continue crocheting by making 1 single crochet into each stitch for round 8 all the way up until round 14. At the end of round 14, you should add a bit of stuffing to the arm. The paw should be completely filled with the yarn scraps. This is a pretty small hole to get into, and we really don't need to add too much. I only added stuffing up until about round 11. I like to leave the rest of the arm unfilled so they lay by the sides of the dog. If you add too much stuffing, the arms might stick straight out, and that might not be the look that you're going for. You'll continue crocheting round 15 through 18 just like the previous ones. Put 1 single crochet into each stitch, ending the round with 8 stitches. After you finish round 18, you can fasten off because we're done. Don't worry about leaving a long tail here because we're going to crochet these arms into the body in a future tutorial. Just be sure to put a stitch marker into the last stitch of the round. That's going to help us when we start crocheting them into the body. Oh, and make sure you make a second arm. You'll mark the last stitch of the round for the second arm as well. Then store these little guys in a safe place so we can use them later.
I'd love to see how your progress is coming along. You can share your pictures on my Facebook page. Next time, we'll be crocheting the tail, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for the rest of the pattern. Thanks for watching.